basically today we will go into the EWM, okay, and look for all the how the EWM is basically prepared for any transactions that we want to perform, whether it is the inbound transaction, whether it is an outbound transaction, whether it is a production integration, anything. Okay, so for every transaction, what all information that is required, how you want to create the structures in EWM, what structures for any warehouse. There are the three basic things that we have to basically create for any warehouse. Is the warehouse should have the storage types, storage sections, and storage bin. And why it is important? If you go into the warehouse, okay, the warehouse itself is quite big. Okay, so it is very difficult for us to basically track the materials. So what we generally do, we basically divide the entire warehouse into different sections. So if you are standing over here, then it is difficult. So what we generally do, we basically divide the area. Okay, we can divide the area based on the materials. We can divide the areas based on the flow of the materials, whether it is a high moving material, slow moving materials. So once we divide the area, it is easy for us. And area in EWM or the warehouse management is nothing but your storage type. Consider you come over here, then this storage type is further divided into the section depending on the type of material or the variant of material. If it is high, medium, low, then you can basically divide the entire storage type into different sections: section 1, section 2, section 3, section 4, section 5, section 6. Big material, small material, semi small material, micro materials kind of material, you can put it over here. And then you can see within this section, once you identify the section, the last thing where you need to place the material is the storage bin. These are the storage bins that we have. Okay, and under the storage bin we can also place the material under the handling unit. Okay, these handling units are basically nothing but, in old WM system we call it as the storage units. Okay, but in EWM we call it as a handling unit. So these handling units are basically the equipments, or you can say any carton or the pallets or the wooden pallets in which you are storing the materials. Okay, so this is the basic structure that we require for any warehouse management system. Okay, what structure we required? The storage type, then the storage sections, and the storage bin. These three things are important. Okay, so what I will do, I'll just come over here. Okay, and let's discuss on this part. So what is this? This is basically the structure of EWM, or not EWM, but it is a structure of a warehouse. Now you can see that how the things are basically going in this. So this is, you can see the front end of the warehouse, and you can see there are no few trucks that are parked near the doors. So these are the doors that we have. Okay, and when we park the material at the door, or when we park the truck at the door, then we unload the material from the truck. So they park it at the door, we also call it as docks. Okay, in EWM. So then we start unloading the material. You can see this person, if I zoom it a bit, this person is now start unloading the material, and we're putting the material at the good receipt area. So this is a good receipt area where we are now placing the material. Now you can divide the good receipt area based on the different type of materials also. If you are using the chemical materials, you may have the different good receipt area. If it is a normal material, we have a different good receipt area. If it is a hazardous material, we can have a different good receipt area. And if there is no such restrictions in your warehouse, and warehouse is okay to basically place all the material. Yeah. Okay, so if warehouse basically wants that no all the material can be placed under one good receipt area, then we can put it under the good receipt area. What is good receipt area? A basic definition is the nearest place in the warehouse where you unload the material. Like during the corona times, no, you basically order the pantry from Amazon and other things. So they deliver the pantry, then you basically put the pantry near your doorstep itself. Okay, and then what you do, you basically do the visual inspection for those, that the all materials are okay, the quantity is okay, material should not get damaged. So what is that? That is nothing but your good receipt area. Okay, that is near the door itself is your good receipt area. And what you are doing, you are doing the visual inspection. Same in the warehouse also, when you unload the material, okay, you will not directly take it to the final destination bin. Means whatever the material we receive from the Amazon, will not directly take the material and put it into the kitchen in the different shelves and in the freezers and other things. No, we do the visual inspection. Okay, the same thing happens in the warehouse. When we unload the material in the warehouse, we basically do the visual inspection. And for that visual inspection, we basically put the material in the warehouse under the good receipt area for some time. This good receipt area is not a permanent storage location for the material. This is only the temporary storage location, or you can say the temporary area in the warehouse where you keep the material for some time only. Okay, that time basically used to unload the material, that time basically used to count the material, that time is basically used to perform no the visual inspection, if any pallet should not get broken during the unload, material is correct or not. So that visual inspection you do. Once the visual inspection and other inspections are done, then you take the material to the further process. There could be a case that the material that you have received from the vendor is basically subject to the quality inspection. Means this material you basically need to perform the quality inspection first, okay, before placing the material in the final destination bin. So in that case, what you will do, you will pick this material from the good receipt area, okay, and then you will identify that this material belongs to the quality inspection. Okay, we cannot directly put the material in the final destination bin. This material requires the quality inspection check. So consider this case that this is a quality inspection area. Okay, you will pick this material from here, okay, after doing your visual inspections and other things and counting, and you will take it into the quality inspection area. And in this quality inspection area, there is a quality inspection engineer who has the list of the material that needs to be inspected, and he will start doing the inspection of those materials. Okay, once the inspection is over, there can be a case that few materials basically gets rejected, okay, from that inspection lot, okay, or from that inspection, and the remaining materials basically approved. If the material gets approved, okay, so you can see these are the storage types, these are the racks you can see, or these are the racks we have where we can place the material. Okay, so what we will do, we will pick the material from the quality inspection, go into these storage types and put the material, start putting the material in these storage types. Under the storage section, you can see these lines, these are the storage sections, and under the storage section, these are the blocks are basically the bins. Then we basically start putting the material in the bins. So over here, from here to here, we will first try to understand that what material I have. Suppose I have a pump in hand, so out of these storage types, which storage type belongs to the pump? So if suppose these two storage type belongs to the pump, I will basically come directly over here, because system has tell me that this basically material needs to be put into the storage type, that is pump. I will come over here within these two storage type where I need to keep the material. Then this entire storage type is divided into the section, section 1, section 2, section 3, section 4. If my pump is basically considered as three variant I receive in the pump, one is the large pump, small pump, and the medium pump. So in that case, the bottom two sections are basically meant to keep the large pump, because I will not use, maybe due to some xyz reason. So I already identified that these two sections are basically used or can be used to place this large pump. Okay, and under this large pump, you can see how many storage bins we have: 1, 2, 3, 4, and there are many storage bin as per the aisles. Okay, it is quite big. So out of, consider that only these four storage bins are here, which storage bins I need to pick. So under that case also, there are no different strategies that we have to build, that whether we have to put the material in the empty storage bin, the storage bin that is already empty, or we have to place the material there in those storage bins which are already filled with the quantity or with the same product, that is pump. Okay, so that kind of strategies are there, but at least system has helped out that what is the storage type, which is the section we have to place the material, and what are the bins that is available. Okay, so why I'm telling this, that every warehouse has that kind of structures in place. Okay, what structures we have? We have the doors, we have the good receipt area, we have the quality inspections area, we have the storage type area in the in the warehouse. There are other processes also in the warehouse. Before quality inspection, we can have the counting sections also. Okay, we have the counting area, specific dedicated counting area where we are doing the counting. Ideally we can do the counting at this particular point only, that is the good receipt point. But in case if there is a dedicated sections for the counting, and we have to basically take the materials via no, doing the counting via certain machines, consider that this is a that section. Ideally this is basically the packing stations, but you can consider as of now this is a section where we are doing the counting. So before taking to the quality inspection, I will take the material from good receipt area to the counting, and from the counting I will take it to the quality inspection, and after quality inspection I will put the material into the final destination. Okay, there may be other storage types also, or other areas where we are doing no some other activities, like the activity we call it as in EWM as deconsolidation. This is a new concept. Okay, the definition is new, but the concept is basically quite old, and we all are basically the warehouse, guys are using it from quite some long time. So what is this deconsolidation? So deconsolidation is, suppose you have received a material, okay, in a one big pallet. Okay, this pallet has no mix of materials, means you are dealing with a sports company and you have no order a vendor to deliver a material. So in that pallet he have delivered the mix of material, like he have delivered the gloves, he have delivered bat, ball, wicket, okay, attires, all, and many other things related to the cricket. Okay, when you receive this material in your warehouse, okay, you do not have the sufficient bins, that much big bins, okay, to accommodate this one big pallet. Okay, so you have smaller bins over here in the warehouse, in the storage type, and you cannot accommodate that much big pallet. So what you do, you take these pallets to the area known as deconsolidations. Okay, in that deconsolidation, what you will do, you will break this big pallet.
Okay.
Okay, break this big pallet and then divide this big pallet into the smaller pallets or smaller handling unit. Okay, and in these handling unit you will put one type of material, means all the gloves you will put it under one handling unit, all the bats you will put it under one handling unit, all balls you will put it under one handling unit, all gloves or the wicket you will put it under one handling unit, and then you will start picking this material and put it into this storage bin, which is more relevant and accurate as per the capacity to put these store handling units over there. Okay, so these concept known as deconsolidation. Okay, and now consider a case understood at a very high level. What is deconsolidation? This is something not newly invented, okay, concept wise, but EWM has bring up this concept, that is deconsolidation, which was not earlier available in the old WM system, and that's why the industries are switching from WM to EWM system, because there are a lot of features that is now available. For all these things we have to basically do the development. Okay, we have to use abappers and other things, and make the things more complex, but now these things are already available in the standard system. With the help of certain configurations you can achieve all those things. Coming back, okay, try to understand this layout. Once you understand the layout, it is easy for everyone. Okay, so this is my door. Okay, so these are the door. This is one area we have, okay, where we have multiple doors. This is door 1, door 2, door 3, door 4. Okay, and these are the trucks that is standing, and we are receiving the material via these doors. Okay, then we have this good receipt area. So in this good receipt area we are basically only placing the materials, okay, that we have received from the truck or we have unloaded from the truck. We have just do the counting over here, visual inspection we have done. Okay, and that's it. Then from here what we are doing, we are just taking the material. Suppose all the materials are received in the big pallets. Okay, so what we will do, we will take it to the deconsolidation area. Okay, this is area 2. Which is this area? This is area 1. This is door area. This is good receipt area. This is area related to the deconsolidation. Area 3, that is decon. So all the pallets, all the big pallets will come to this deconsolidation area, and then we break those big pallets into the smaller one, and then take it to the, suppose all the materials require the quality inspection, then we'll take it to the quality inspection area. Area 4, that is quality inspection area. And after the quality inspection area, we will take the material to the final destination bin or final storage types. Okay, in this storage type we have multiple areas also. Area 5, 6, 7. Okay, so this is how the warehouse processes works in together. This is how the material flows in the warehouse, from one process to another, from one area to another, from one point to another. So all these things, okay, this one, then this one, then this one, then this one, these are all the area we call it as the interim area. or the temporary area. Why temporary area? Because these areas are used for the temporary purpose only, to place the material for some for certain operations we are performing in these areas. Maybe in deconsolidation we are doing certain area, certain operations, okay, like breaking of big pallet into the smaller one. In quality inspection we are performing certain operations to perform the quality inspections, okay. In good receipt area what we are doing, we are just unloading the material, probably we are counting the material, doing the visual inspection, and that's it. And doors we are simply used for unloading the material, okay. But this area, this area is basically the area used to place the material for long time, okay. This is the area where finally the material is being stored, okay, permanent, not permanently, I will not say the word permanently, but these all are the interim or the temporary area used for one or two purpose, to use for certain operations, and then we pass it the material to the other process, and then finally those materials basically store over here, okay. So in EWM, try to understand that the EWM, in the EWM, the storage area, this entire no warehouse is divided into different area: door area, good receipt area, deconsolidation area, quality inspection area, and the final storage areas. Those storage areas may have the racks, okay, like this. So if I, so if you consider this case, so if this is the big location you have, some materials are stored under the racks. You can see these are the racks we have, okay. Some materials are stored under on the floor itself, that we call it as the open storage. Some materials are no, stored under the bulk storage. So these are the bulky material that we have put it on the stackings, okay, one above the other. So this is how the material is placed, okay. But prior to this placing of materials, we have to basically use some interim storage areas also to move the material from one process or from one area to another, okay. So in EWM, under the storage types, these all are the storage types, okay. This is one storage type, that is a door storage type. This is one storage type, that is a good receipt storage type. This is one storage type, that is a quality inspection storage type. This is one storage type, that is a deconsolidation storage type. And these are basically some other storage type to place the final material in the warehouse, okay. So that's how in EWM we have divided the storage types into the different roles, okay. What are those roles? If I come over here, the role for this area is basically the doors. The role for this area, that is a good receipt area, is nothing but your staging and the good receipt, means you are doing the good receipt over here. The role for this area is basically the quality inspection. The role for this area is basically the deconsolidation. The role for this area is basically to place the material finally, okay. So now what I will do, I'll come to the system and show you the storage types, how to define storage types in EWM. As of now, this picture is clear to everyone. Any questions on this, on the layout part?
So far, so good, man.